Have you ever wished that you could read a room like a pro, uncover hidden truths, or switch up your self-talk from bully to your greatest ally? Well, starting today, Mercury dives headfirst into Scorpio, and this once-a-year transit gives us the perfect opportunity to completely transform our mental landscape. I'm Chrissy, welcome back to my channel, and today we are looking into how to use this Mercury in Scorpio transit to your advantage to supercharge your personal growth and completely transform your mental landscape. Before we get started, don't forget my free Manifestology newsletter is out now. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you doing? This is where I share all of my learnings from over a decade of studying manifestation and astrology. I give you all of the practical tips, techniques, and tools while also timing them perfectly with the energies that we are experiencing as recorded by astrology, so that you get to create your dream life with even more ease and speed and flow. Let's start with what to expect while Mercury is in Scorpio. Mercury rules our thoughts, our mind, communication, short distance travel between either two physical locations or between two data points. So also making mental connections between two things. Scorpio, on the other hand, is the sign of transformation, of depth, of going where we usually don't like to look, everything that is hidden beneath the surface. So while Mercury is in Scorpio, this is where we get kind of tired from all of the small talk and all of the pleasantries that we experienced while Mercury was in Libra before that. And instead, we want to have deep, profound, meaningful conversations. We want to address that which has been hidden. We want to address our shadow side. And Mercury is going to be in Scorpio for about 3 weeks the first time around, but it's dipping back into the sign of Scorpio after going retrograde on the 19th of November, and it's going to leave Scorpio again in the beginning of December. So we get 2 goes at this transit to really, really dig deep and unearth all of the hidden things in our minds. And why this is so important to us is because once we change our minds, especially on the kind of unseen level that we don't look at so much, that's when we change our lives. So if you've been feeling stuck, if you've been feeling like you're stagnating, then chances are high that there are some unconscious thought processes that are still holding you back from embodying that version of you that is living your dream reality. And while Mercury goes into Scorpio, that's a perfect opportunity to unearth those hidden blockages that are preventing you from living the way you want to be living. Mercury in Scorpio gives us all an additional emotional intelligence. It makes it a lot easier to pinpoint any hidden undercurrents in your self-talk, in how you are with yourself, but also in conversations and in relationships. Have you ever tried lying to a Scorpio? I strongly advise against it. They will see right through it. They will feel into any kind of undercurrents that are off and will immediately notice that. This is very strong to those who have the sun, the moon, Mercury, and any other planets really in Scorpio already. But while we have this global transit happening the first and the second time, we all get more intuitive, more switched on to the emotional undercurrents. Mercury in Scorpio enhances our investigative mind. That's why people who natally have Mercury in Scorpio make really good researchers or investigators. It gives us this desire to dig deep. We're not happy with just superficial, generic information. We want to know all of it. We want to, in order to fully understand something, we don't just want breadth of information. We want depth. We want to understand issues to their core. We want to make sure that there is no stone left unturned in our investigation or in our research. And this unlocks this kind of inner alchemy within us. Scorpio energy looks at the things that the other zodiac signs don't like to look at so much, not because it's evil or because it likes the pain or it likes the suffering, just because nobody else will go there. And it needs to be looked at and it needs to be addressed so that it can be alchemized, so that it can be transformed. This is the one big opportunity to do so, especially when the sun joins in Scorpio as well. So it's all well and good talking about what Mercury in Scorpio means, but as always, I want to give you the practical tools and techniques that you can use to really make the most out of this transit and to make sure that you grow in the way that is most aligned with this energy to, really make the most of it. So here are 3 practical tools that you can use while Mercury is in Scorpio. The first one is shadow work journaling. First, let's address some common myths around shadow work. Shadow work isn't just writing out your biggest fears, although that can be part of it. The key thing here is to address unconscious patterns, the thoughts that you avoid, the things that trigger you. For example, if you've ever experienced a thought coming in and it's a really unpleasant thought, it's vicious, it's vindictive, it's judgmental, and you catch it and you kind of think to yourself, oh, where did that come from? I don't want to think that. Go away. Well, as much as our conscious mind doesn't like to identify with these thoughts, they still come from somewhere. They come from your shadow self. And it's not because you are vindictive or you are vicious or you are manipulative or you are judgmental. It's just that there is a part of you that is still hurt. It's hurt because maybe at some point, usually this happens during childhood, you had this done to you. You had somebody address you with that kind of thought, or you were in a situation where that was the only way out, or at least it looked like that at the time because of your limited life experiences. Perhaps you grew up in a family that was very judgmental, and even though you reject that now as an adult, there are still parts of you that may identify with that, and you don't really want to look at it because it's unpleasant. You don't like that part of you, but it is still there somewhere and it pops its head up sometimes. And that's usually because it just hasn't been fully looked at and fully integrated and fully healed yet. And that's exactly what we're going to do with this shadow work journaling exercise. So set aside about 10 to 15 minutes a day. This doesn't have to be every day. If you do it daily-ish while Mercury is in Scorpio, that's more than good enough. Ideally, you want to do this at the end of the day so that you can review what's happened during the day. And the things you're looking for is any of these kind of thoughts that made you go, oh, I don't want to think that. Shoo, go away. Any kind of thoughts any kind of events that triggered you, where you feel like there may have been a bit of a disproportional reaction to what actually occurred. Any fears that have come up, whether they're rational or irrational. Actually, even better, if they're irrational, those are the ones we want to pick apart here. And yes, this might well bring up some unpleasant feelings. Don't be alarmed. We're not bringing them up because we want to suffer and because we want to make ourselves feel horrible. They're being brought up so that they can come out. We need to let go of this need to repress them and to push them away. So do allow yourself to feel these feelings, at the same time knowing that you're only feeling them now so that you can say goodbye to them for good. So identify that thought pattern that is causing this reaction, the belief and the thought that is behind the emotion that comes up, that was triggered by any event or thought that came about. And then after you've felt your way through it, that's when we get to reframe it. So if it's something like, I'm not good enough, which is at the core of so many shadows that we all experience, reframe that into, I am growing and learning every day. I am becoming better and better every day. Perhaps it's something like people cannot be trusted. We can reframe that in a more positive way into something like, my trust is valuable and I only give it to those who earn it. And these are just some of the examples, but there is always a way to reframe that in a more positive manner. If you're stuck on a negative belief, feel free to leave it down in the comments and I'll be more than happy to help you find a more positive way to reframe that thought. The second technique that we're going to talk about is to have a radical, honest conversation with somebody. So schedule a totally honest heart-to-heart with your partner or with a trusted family member or friend. Make it clear from the beginning that this is going to be a conversation where you both get to be radically honest and where nothing is off limits. But before you have that conversation, say the thing that you are most scared of saying out loud with nobody around, nobody watching it. It's very important that you say it out loud. If you want some bonus points, record yourself saying it onto a voice note. And what this is going to do is that you gain more clarity once it's out in the open. You may realize that actually the thing that you were afraid to say, it's not necessarily true. Or perhaps there's other aspects and other dimensions to it that you hadn't considered. Perhaps you realize that actually it's not that bad at all and you have just made a mountain out of a molehill, which again is something that we're all guilty of. We all do it. Basically what you're doing is you're getting this fear, this scary thing out in the open, you're naming it, and that removes the power from it. It's so much more powerful when it's just swirling around in your head. Whereas once it's out in the open, you realize that it probably wasn't that scary to begin with. Then, after you've had that moment with yourself, then have that conversation with your trusted other person. Then start it off by saying, here is how I truly think and feel. And also make sure that when they get their turn, that you fully listen and that you take in everything that they're saying. And then use Scorpio Mercury's gift of uncovering hidden motivation. But it's very important that you do it together, that you uncover these hidden things together, not just separately. You don't want to just assume what someone else's motivation is. This opens up so much free space in your emotions, in your mental world. It's going to make you feel so much lighter to get rid of all of that. Just make sure that this is a person who you obviously can trust, somebody who you're very close to. And the third tool, and I thoroughly recommend that you use this one, is to really go into some focused research and learning. Let's utilize this single-minded, deep focus that Mercury and Scorpio gives us to expand our horizons, to understand something on a much, much more profound level than we've been able to understand this before. So pick a topic. Maybe it's health or finances or relationships that's just been interesting you for a while and that you've wanted to dive into for a while. With Mercury and Scorpio, some scorpionic themes might come up. So don't be surprised. Maybe there are some subjects that you are interested in that are considered kind of taboo. Things like tantra or seduction, things like witchcraft, or any kind of themes surrounding death, whether they're near-death experiences or topics surrounding death and rebirth. These might pique your interest a lot more than usual during this time. And then give yourself some time to really dive deep into that topic, whether it's books, podcasts, movies, videos, articles, anything you can find on the subject. Allow yourself to dive deep, to get laser focused on that which is pulling you in. This is the time where going down some rabbit holes is thoroughly encouraged, because Scorpio as a sign is deeply, deeply intuitive. Scorpio is a water sign. All of the water signs are very intuitive. But Scorpio has the ability to look really beneath the surface, to find hidden truths, to find hidden meanings, to find the things that in a text may be implied but are never explicitly expressed. We all get this natural gift to see these patterns and see these undercurrents. Take some notes, even better if you take physical notes with your hand, and at the end of the transit, you can review everything you've learned and see what practical steps you can take to truly apply that knowledge. So here are 4 quick tips to maximize the Mercury and Scorpio transit. Number 1, be selective with whom you share what. Scorpio energy values privacy, it doesn't trust easily, and you want to make sure that those people who you do share your innermost secrets with have earned that privilege. Your trust should be a privilege to have. Number 2, monitor your self-talk. Buried stuff is very likely to come up. It might surprise you, it might throw you off. Don't be alarmed. It's there to be reframed. These things are coming into your conscious mind so that you can put a positive spin onto them. Number 3, use breath work. Scorpio energy can get very emotionally intense. If you do find yourself getting overwhelmed, use some 5-5-5 breathing or 4-7-8 breathing. So you are either breathing in for a count of 5, holding for 5, exhaling for 5, holding for 5, or to get you into a more relaxed state of mind, try 4-7-8, where you're breathing in for 4, holding for 7, and breathing out for 8. And the beauty of that is you can do that anywhere and people won't even notice. I do it secretly out in public all of the time. No one ever has a clue. And number 4, embrace the silence. If you're someone like me who always has to have music on in the background or a podcast or an audiobook, this is the time to switch off, because true insights, profound insights are only going to come when you allow for some silence. And when you cut out distractions, schedule yourself some screen-free time to be a bit bored for a bit, because some very interesting things could come up while you do that. So here's your reminder. Shadow work isn't about staying stuck in the darkness. It's about finding the treasure that's been hiding there all along. Mercury in Scorpio allows us to mentally explore this space, to rewire old beliefs, and to gain this incredible sense of power that comes from it. Yes, the journey may be uncomfortable at times, but what you stand to gain on the other side of it is something, a sense of freedom that you've never experienced before. And the discomfort is the doorway to get there. You just have to step through. So if you enjoyed this video and you'd like more videos like this on how to master your mind and your life using astrology, then make sure that you subscribe, because I bring out a new video like this every week, helping you live your best life. And let me know in the comments below, what is one topic that's been drawing you in, that's been pulling you in, and that you're ready to dive deep into during Scorpio season. And if you're ready to uncover your deepest hidden potential, your natal chart holds the answer. If you'd like, then you can book a one-to-one consultation with me where we will go into exactly that and uncover your hidden Scorpionic gifts. The link to that is in the description bar below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.